to today's topic. Today we're going to talk about how to get in all this protein. This is a question that I get asked a lot when someone is given the focus of getting in more protein. The first question is like, that's a lot of protein. Why do you want me to eat so much? And how do I do that? Because I don't know how to eat that much protein. So today I'm going to share with you what to do when you're starting. So let me just bring this in your view. All right, so why so much protein? Now, well, number one is that it is the building block for your muscles. So we're looking at muscle building. Over the age of 40, we are losing more muscle mass every decade. So we want to fight to preserve, number one, preserve what we have, not continue to lose the protein. And two, we want to be able to build more on top of that as we're getting older. So that comes down to your training and then your nutrition. And the nutrition part, it's really important to focus in on getting enough protein. So protein is your building blocks. It's the macronutrient that helps build and repair, and it just does all the work. And it's also the one macronutrient that keeps you satisfied in between meals, which is why it's really difficult to get in more if you're not used to it. So maybe you've been following a diet that's been low calories, right? So you're eating low calories, and that means that, you know, a lot of the times we're eating things that are like, say, salads, and we call them bird food, you know, really light foods to be able to diet and lose the weight. Okay, so that's really not helpful in terms of building up the muscle, okay, because we're not only losing weight on the scale, we're also losing muscle, because you're losing very minimal fat, a lot of water weight, and muscle, where those are going to go first before the fat is burned. So you do want to prioritize protein for that need too, so that you can drop your calories to a slight deficit, but still be able to preserve the muscle mass that we do have. So how do we get the protein? Because here's the ratios. Like most people, if you're doing weight training, will be encouraged to get in 1 gram of protein per body weight. So say you are 150 pounds and you want to get in 1 gram of protein per your weight, so 150 grams, which is a lot, okay? That's a lot of protein. And if you're not used to that, I know I've had people go, I can't do it, it's too hard. So here's the first step. It's just eliminate the it's too hard. Because what that does is it takes us from where we are right now, like struggling to get our results, to I have to get to 150 grams a day and I can't. So what do? When it feels too hard, we don't do anything. We don't take action. We think, I'm going to wait for a better time. I'm going to wait for a better system. I don't know how to do it, so I'm just going to not do it right now. And that is the worst. That is the worst scenario, because you're not doing anything to get better. So what I would say here is, don't worry about the 150, or don't worry about your current needs, like your intake, if you're not close to that yet. Like, it took me time to work up to getting in 150, and I can get in more than that a day because I've gotten used to it. I prioritize protein. I've learned how to break that up into my meals, which I'm going to share with you today. But you have to start somewhere. So something always beats nothing. So don't think that, oh, if I can't hit that, I'm just not going to do that right now. I won't focus on that. I'll just do my calories. Because prioritizing protein is so helpful for your long-term needs. It's really important. So maybe you don't hit 150. Maybe, and I've had clients that say, I can't do it, Kathy. You're telling me to get in this much protein and I can't even do it. Like, I feel very, very heavy and sick and I don't want to eat that much. So that's not helpful, right? I don't want you to be feeling sick and like stuffing yourself. We want to eventually get to that point. Like, this is the goal. It is not like, let's start here. This is what you're going to do. Let's move in that direction. So what can you do? Well, currently, track what you're eating now. Like, how much protein, just take inventory. I would say like 3 days in a row, just track what you're eating normally. Don't change anything. Don't try to impress yourself or somebody else. Track what you're eating now. Count up the grams of protein. And I've had people do this and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not even getting in that much protein. So then I say, okay, now look at where you're at. So for example, say 150 is the goal. So say you tracked it and you're like getting in 75 grams a day. So you're at half of that. So obviously that's going to sound ridiculous to go, okay, now I want you to go ahead and double what you're eating now with your protein. And then, obviously the carbs and the fats and everything else will, drop down a bit, but this is a huge jump, right? To go from this to that overnight, it's possible, but it's really not going to make you feel good. You're going to, again, feel stuffed, sick, and you're going to have a negative feeling, connotation around eating that much protein, which it shouldn't be. Like, this should be, yay, I get protein, yay, I get more calories, or I get more filling foods that's going to preserve my muscle mass. So this should be a yay. And if you're going, ugh, that sounds hard, that's not a yay. So let's move away from the non-yays, okay? So if you're at 75 grams, well, what can you do? Well, maybe I can get in 25 more grams a day. Maybe now I shoot for 100 grams of protein a day. Now, is 100 grams of protein better than 75? Heck yeah. Is it as good as 150 yet? No, but that's okay, because progress is what we're looking for. So instead of being so hard on yourselves, it's really beneficial, and this is what helped me just change the game, is trying not to worry about being perfect, on track, like level what everybody else is doing or saying to do, but really just where am I now? Like, take inventory. Where do I want to go? And what can I do realistically this coming month? Okay, so I'm going to hit 100 grams every day until that gets easier. Then I can add another, say 25 grams. And just so you guys know, like 25 grams could be as simple as a meal. You could get like 25, you should be getting 25 or more grams per meal to help break this up. Okay, so my meals, I'm having 30 plus grams of protein per my meals. But again, I've worked up to this. So if you're not here yet, that's okay. You don't have to stress out. So what can you do to improve your protein intake? Aim to get at least, say, a portion of your palm size. If you don't want to track by measuring or weighing something out, then look at the palm size of your hand, okay, because your body, your hand, the palm size, that is the size that you'd want to focus on getting per meal. And that, roughly, it's just an estimation. It would be about 20 to 25 grams, okay? So if I'm getting 25 grams a day, well, am I hitting my 100 grams? Yeah. So if I could break that up between 5 meals, a couple snacks too, if I'm not having 5 meals, then great, you're getting your 100 grams. So you're going to have to prioritize your protein, which is the best way, the best strategy. It takes practice to go from here to here. Okay, you're not going to just jump there one day. So increase your meals, how much protein you're having with each meal. So meal one, let me turn this upside down. Meal one, how many are you getting with your breakfast? A lot of times I have, a lot of us have just gone like, oh, just have cereal or something quick for breakfast. How can you increase the protein if you're even having cereal? You know what a great way is? And this is, I told my kids this, and they actually do this. They actually do this for a snack. Take protein powder. Get your favorite protein powder. Okay, find one that's better. There's ones that are filled with a bunch of junk, but find a better option. Get the protein powder, mix it into the milk. You can, put it in a blender or whatever, and pour that over your cereal. So it's going to be it has a little thickness, yes, but you get a little bit more milk, okay? And you can choose whatever milk you like, almond milk or regular milk or whatever, and you pour it over your cereal, and voila! Now you have protein-rich cereal. I've done that in my oats, which they're called proats. You just scoop of protein in your oatmeal. I've also moved on to doing like Greek yogurt. If you can stomach that, it doesn't bother your stomach. I've added like a serving size of Greek yogurt into my oatmeal and mixed it up, and I put my berries and I sweetened up a little bit. Voila, right? I had my good carbs and I had my protein. So whatever you're eating, now I love my protein pancakes. Now, if you don't like sweets, you could do eggs, right? Like a big egg white omelet with like maybe 1 or 2 full eggs in there with some vegetables, a side of sourdough toast or sprouted grain toast or some kind of a healthier version toast, or just white bread, whatever. But you're getting in the protein is my entire point. Having 1 egg, though, it's not going to cut it. So again, the easiest way to increase, if you're having eggs, increase your protein is to increase the egg whites, because the egg whites is where the protein's at. And then for flavor, for that little fattier flavor, you can add in 1 or 2 yolks, like a whole egg, into that. So you're getting more of the protein without so much of the cholesterol and the calories and the fat for, you know, that meal. So meal 1, like how much can you increase? I would say try to at least get 25 grams minimum per meal 1, right? And you're going to feel more satisfied between meal 1 and your next snack. So again, choose one of those options. Meal 2 or your snack, I would say maybe have a shake here. A lot of us are at work or on the go. Make a shake, okay? You can do protein powder, you could do Greek yogurt, you could do, there's tons of options, but for me, I do protein powder, and I add my milk, I do my low-fat milk, I do my ice, I do my banana, and I do some peanut butter. That's my favorite. I love vanilla shakes for that reason. It tastes like a vanilla milkshake, so that's my favorite thing. And again, I'm getting in at least, I know it's more than 25. I'm actually getting probably 30 or more. So 25 or more grams minimum, right? So there's 50, and that's, you're only 2 meals in, okay? And it's not too much. Like this is gonna be like, if you're thinking of the palm size, again, that's a serving size, and it's not an overwhelming size, like 4 ounces, okay? And then meal 2, maybe for your lunch, you do like a steak salad, okay? Or like a chicken breast salad. So again, palm size portion of the meat, slice it up, put it on your greens, drizzle some dressing, whatever you like, be mindful of your dressing, put a little avocado on there, and it's amazing, right? You're gonna get nice, more than the 25, but again, let's say you're 25 plus grams. Now we're at 75 grams. And you still got at least 1 or 2 meals to go, okay? So you see how you can start playing around like, okay, what did I have for breakfast or meal 1 yesterday? How much protein was in that meal? How can I play around with my protein to increase that to at least get to 25 grams? If you just start with simple, right? You don't have to jump from here to getting in all the protein that you're being recommended to get. If that feels like too much of a jump, well, you're not going to realistically do that. And so you're just going to sit there and not do anything, which a lot of people do. They're like, I can't do it, so I'm just not going to. Until we start to realize the benefits of getting in the protein, you're going to get better results. You're not going to feel as hungry in between your meals. And over time, you are going to improve. If you're prioritizing strength training, you're going to improve your bone mass. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to get better results. You're going to start looking sleeker. Like it all starts to come together like a puzzle. You're putting together this puzzle. You look at all the pieces all put together on the floor. I mean, all not put together on the floor. It looks like a mess. Or it looks confusing. And that's really where we feel when we're starting a program or we're starting to work on something that we've never thought of before, we've never experienced success in before. But you can't do this just breaking it down into little chunks. So what can you do to improve your protein? And if you're a vegetarian, you're just going to have to be a little bit more creative. There are tons of plant-based vegetarian options now. You can look online, find recipes to create some great with the vegetables, because believe it or not, the vegetables have protein in it. You can find grains with protein in it. They're going to be less. Like I think lentils is like 9 grams for a serving. So it's less, but you can add other things to it, right? Get a protein-rich, plant-based, protein-rich source in there to increase it with the vegetables. And all of a sudden, you can get the 25 grams or more per meal. There are vegans that are doing bodybuilding. So I know that it's possible to get in protein whether or not you eat meat and dairy. Okay, so that's not an excuse. And if you have any more questions about this, feel free, again, post below, comment below, send me a private message. I always answer them. You guys know that when you do send me messages, I answer you. I want you to be encouraged today to take action on how can I get a little bit more protein in this week, 1 meal at a time. So start with the very first of taking inventory. Take inventory of what you're eating now. Write out 3 days in a row of what you're eating, and then measure out or track how many grams of protein am I truly getting now. Then you'll be able to see the gap. Maybe you're only getting 75, maybe you're getting 50. I know, like for a lot of us, it's a surprise. Like I didn't know I was getting this that much lower than the recommended dosage or amount from my body and my goals. All right. So this is gonna be a game changer in terms of how satisfied you are, if you are on a calorie deficit, and then your long-term goals. So if you have any questions, post below. And until tomorrow, have a great rest of your day.